Great. Welcome everyone to today's open discussion. And today's topic is why I cannot let go of the past. So, we are going to talk about this particular thing. As you guys are aware that this is going to be an open conversation, a two-way conversation. So it's not like we are going to deliver anything. We will just go through the conversation related to this topic and unravel what comes through this conversation for the group present here. Right. So now talking about letting go of the past and why usually we continue to hold on to it. We continue to sometimes hold on to it too tight as well. Right. So we will explore what could be the possible reasons why, particularly any of you who wish to discuss it might be doing it. So we will look in that direction. Okay. So how about you guys? In your lives, currently or in the past, have you observed yourself holding on to an event or an incident or anything that hurt you or that really, made you feel sad or angry? Anything that you were holding on to? So, anybody would like to share?
Yes, ma'am. So, in past, behavior of few people or certain situations caused so much trauma and so much stress that I used to be bedridden for months even, and was not able to join office back for years. Things have changed now, but I still feel some part of it is still unhealed somewhere in the subconscious. And although I'm carrying on with my day to day activities, when certain behavior like that is again happens again, then those instances get triggered somewhere. So now I'm realizing that even though I got on the conscious level everything is settled, but somewhere deep inside those wounds are still unhealed and I need to work on them.
So maybe you're not thinking about those things consciously कि ऐसा हुआ या वैसा हुआ ये हुआ वो हुआ, but it's just that if something similar happens वो पूरा एक ट्रिगर होके पूरा फ्लैशबैक काइंड ऑफ हो जाता है
एग्जैक्टली
maybe.
वो लूप बन जाता है या
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Hmm. Right. And have you done till now anything to, look into this thing that why these particular things are still going on? Just, I want to understand it so that
yes
we
ma'am.
know we
So
are on.
I did some healing practices, ho'oponopono, EFT, tapping and everything. And I worked with some coaches and still I am yet to heal. I mean, much part of it is healed, but still some things are still, left. Some leftovers are still there, which are maybe deep inside. I never worked on them consciously. So maybe that, and because now that I have started, realizing and doing something about it consciously, maybe all those things are surfacing. That can also be a thing. So anger issues and all those they are surfacing. So yeah, and yes I am consciously working on these things, but I still think that I need to take a more proper approach to these things. Right now I've been doing it on and off, but yeah, these things, and it helps. So I took to spirituality also, did chakra healing, and done a lot many things like that. So that has helped for sure, because earlier I would be like for months and years I would be in a numb state of mind. Now it's not like that anymore, thankfully, but still some things do trigger me a lot, and I go into a reactive reactive response rather than a proper response. So yeah, I need to work on those things still. So yeah, I've started journaling, so I am doing something about it, but a lot needs to be done still.
That's good to know, Namita. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, so when we talk about these things, so even though I was using the words events, incidents, people like that, but a lot of times we hold on to thought patterns, belief systems, a certain way of reacting or responding as well. So anything in that regard as well, if you guys can remember and would like to share, please feel free to do so.
Hi, Namika.
Hi, Sunam.
Yeah. So as Namita has mentioned, like for me also some incident has happened like maybe 5 years back. So when that incident happened, I went completely numb. I didn't understand what is happening, and I was also like bedridden for months. I could not go to office. Um, that is how I entered into spirituality, and I started doing all these workshops and all. Thankfully, I'm over now. Like I'm over that thing now. I'm in better position. But sometime back, maybe few months back, certain incident of that sort happened again, and my response was similar. It took me less time this time to get over it, but my initial response was the same. Like I was bedridden for some days. I could not eat. I could not sleep. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. And you have now, worked on it and have gotten over it.
Yeah, the second incident, I'm still working on it because
Okay.
sometimes again, like I do remember that person. There were gifts exchanged, so there are some gifts, there are photos, so memories. So it keeps
Mhm.
like haunting me again and again. But I try to like whenever I remember that thing, I try to call my friend or somebody who knows all this. So I talk
Mm.
to somebody else or I go out and walk. This is how I deal with it.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay. Right. So this is a good example what you have shared, Sonam. If we talk about the kind of things that we hold on to, so memories could be one of the things that we hold on to, either good memories, bad memories. So even though when we talk about, letting go or something, then it usually, it's the negative thing which comes into picture, because we think, why do we have to let go of the positives? But the thing is that um, in case somebody's relationship has ended, so I was just having, a conversation with a karma yesterday only, that all the painful things that happened to me in my previous relationship and my marriage, and I did a lot of work to heal that grief of everything that went wrong, things in our control, not in our control, and all that. But I don't know, I was just reading in a book and I came to this realization yesterday, day before yesterday, I guess it was nighttime. I was journaling and I realized that I never took out time to grieve for the happy memories, right? For the good times that I had. And I realized that I missed that. And I never completed, never actually took the grieving process for the happy things that happened, right? And now they are gone, and it's not there. So it's not just the negative stuff that needs to be let go of, it's the positive stuff as well, the memories, the stories, of course, the incidents, the um, events that happen, people say certain things, do certain things. There could be physical stuff as well, like Sonam was mentioning, gifts and stuff. So this is about letting go of the external things, but apart from that, we could also be holding on to the emotional clutter. For an example, something happened a long time back and we feel that we have forgiven the person, but there is still a lot of anger. There is still a lot of sadness that gets triggered when we see, let's suppose, a happy couple moving somewhere, or maybe we see a happy girl going somewhere, or a happy boy, or a sad person, or a sad movie, or a sad scene from a movie, right? And those things get triggered in us, all those uncomfortable, painful feelings that come inside us, and we start getting in that loop, we fall in that loop over and over again. um, could also be in case of our habits, reactions, of course, belief systems, as I was saying, and Yeah, these could be different, external things and internal things we could be holding on to. So thank you so much, Sonam, for sharing those examples. How about other people? Which of these things, the inside holding on to or the extrinsic outside holding on to, what is it that you have experienced? What is it that, is striking out like really hard for you guys? Anybody would like to share? Yes, I think.
Uh, First of all, when you said that we need to grieve even the happy moments, it was something new to me. क्योंकि मुझे कहीं न कहीं ऐसा लगता था कि whatever has happened in past happened, but at least I can be happy thinking कि I had a nice time at that point of time. So I think I have not let go of a lot of happy moments in previous relationships or previous times. Like I would give some incidents. Ki, mm, uh, when I was 19, when my mom passed away, that time I did not grieve at all. I just escaped with I did not wanted to feel anything, and I kind of escaped the whole thing. But then I realized whenever there was any trouble and that hurt came in the relationship later on, those are the times when I started missing her. Because throughout after that throughout the years, I used to try not even to think about her so that I don't cry and I don't miss her. But when I got hurt in the relationship, that's when I started crying for her. So that was inside for a very long time. uh I think even till last year it was still there. Now I'm not sure nowadays, like those kind of like hurt kind of moments have not there. तो वो बहुत टाइम से that thing was there. But uh, now when you said कि happy moments का भी grieve करना है, so in that case uh, are you referring to कि I should let go of the happy memories as well?
Let go of the happy memories तो नहीं हो सकता, because there's literally no way for us to forget anything, be it either good or bad. So हम उसको let go उस तरीके से नहीं कर सकते हैं, but it's about consciously acknowledging that कि happy memories थी और उनके जाने से now there has been a void, acknowledging the void, the sadness, the depression, whatever comes along with it, and it's missed. Processing the feelings, whatever feelings that are arising because of that, and then you know coming to a point whenever acceptance arrives, while consciously observing all of these things. So that's what I mean. So even though they were happy memories, मतलब से बुरी चीजें होती हैं तो उनके आने से या उनके होने से दुख होता है, बट हैप्पी मेमोरीज का ऐसा है कि उनके जाने से दुख होता है, उनके चले जाने का दुख होता है, राइट? सो कॉन्शियसली सिटिंग विद योर सेल्फ एंड एक्नॉलेजिंग कि हाँ वो चली गई हैं, दे आर गॉन, एंड आई एक्नॉलेज दैट आई फील सैड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. I I see that I feel sad because of that. And when we see that, when we process that grief, we become capable enough कि हाँ अभी ये चीज तो चली गई है. बट क्या क्योंकि क्या होता है ना कि जब हम हैप्पी चीजों को, इट डिडंट हैपन विद मी बट आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इट हैपेंस विद अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, कि there was this lady I remember talking to last year probably, and she had an extremely beautiful relationship with her husband, and her husband died, right? Probably he was in army or something. I don't exactly remember how he died. He died, right? Now this lady had such a great time, काफी लंबी मैरिज थी उनकी, कि उसके पास कुछ बुरा तो था नहीं, बट शी वाज हैविंग अ रियली हार्ड टाइम लेटिंग हिम गो, राइट? सो शी वाज नॉट रेडी टू एक्नॉलेज कि अब वो चीज चली गई है और उसके जाने से अब उसको दुख हो रहा है. right? She was not acknowledging the void, क्योंकि उसको वो void से डर लग रहा था. So the whole point that I'm trying to make is कि ये जो void आ जाता है इन सारी चीजों के, happy चीजों के जाने के कारण, we acknowledge it and we, you know, कि उसको जब तक देखेंगे नहीं, we cannot fill that void, right? It will not get filled. So that's what I was trying to imply. Does that make sense to you, Hardeep?
Yeah, it does. Another thing which I would like to say here, for example, after my first breakup, it took me some time, like more than 1.5 years. But now, when I see, now it's been more time. Now, even if I think about the happy times I had with that person, it doesn't bother me. I think this happened after the workshops. Now I am in that stage that even if I think about the first relationship, and whenever now I'm in that stage, if I think about the happy moments, I feel like, wow, I had such a nice time at that point of time. So now it doesn't bother me at all. So is that okay? Like, is that, does that mean I am healed, and if it's not bothering me, then it's fine? And it makes me happy sometimes. Yeah, I had nice times.
Yeah. Yeah. If that's not triggering anything in you, then it's fine.
Okay. No, I just asked this question because I heard the word ki you need to let go of uh, things like the negatives as well as few positives. So I thought, does that mean ki I'm still holding on to something?
No, no. If that makes you happy and if that makes you feel ki ha, it was a, I mean, it doesn't trigger you as such that, you know, you go in a loop where you start fantasizing about it and imagining it, and you go in your own zone somewhere, you know, fantasizing about things, making up stories and all that. If none of that is happening, then it's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Harpreet, for sharing. How about others? Kavita, your hand was up that time, so you want to share anything?
No, I just got my answer. It was something similar with what they were saying. So I got my answer on her question for me.
Okay. Let's talk. Anything you wish to share, Ashwini, from your experience?
Yeah, actually, couple of things. So I'll share the simpler one first. So you were saying grieving the happy memories, and I have been sick for the past few weeks, and whenever I'm sick, physically I start going down mentally, and then I think of all the things which I would normally think of. So yesterday as I was dropping off to sleep or something like that, I think I remembered that, or today morning as I was waking up, I remembered that, my ex-husband had once, I have very few happy memories of our, coexistence of maybe 12 years of marriage or more, 15. So he had brought, does anyone know what a glowworm is? So he
Mm.
had once, you
Jugnu.
know, uh, uh, caught a glowworm and put it in a empty matchbox and brought it home for me. And to me, I was like amazed because he was a workaholic and he used to hardly come home and he never talked to me. So I was very happy that he, thought of the fact that I would like to see the glowworm, or he took the effort of catching it in an empty matchbox and bringing it home. And then I was thinking that maybe there was something there, and maybe I just in the past, I would think, before I did all the workshops, I would think that I lost it and it was my fault and things like that. But this time I was just happy to, acknowledge it as a happy memory and let it go, kind of, grieve it for a while, grieve it a very little probably, but more than grieving, I don't know, I can't explain. I would say, yeah, I mean, I was happy that there was a happy memory, and I was sorry that it's over. But I was able to let go as a happy memory, without attaching any sort of tales or epithets to it. And the other thing was, I was just surprised as to how we are so, or rather, I am so like, so well, such well-oiled machinery of my mind. I jump from hot water pools to hot water pools. Like I was coming up the stairs just now, and there was a pair of pigeons who were copulating. And I have been single for a very long time, and I miss physical intimacy sometimes. And I was thinking, looking at the pigeons, and I thought, oh my God, this part of my life is completely gone now, and I'm too old for this. And how did so much time pass away? And then, whenever something like this happens, I recall, I had read a book in between, and it was about a social worker who ran a sort of rehabilitation home for sort of disenfranchised or women who were single and had nowhere to go. She ran a home for them, and she said that I could see that, they all lacked. Sort of physical intimacy or closeness. I mean, even if it is not sex, we all need some sort of physical touch, right? And then one of those women started making passes at the security guard. And the security guard was a good guy, and he was also single and unmarried, and he got confused and he felt threatened. So he told her, and she said she was thinking that I live with my husband. On what basis I can make moralizing sermons to these women? But there was someone else who, one of the women, and she was like the supervisor or whatever. And so this lady told her that, this is the problem. So she went and told that woman who was making passes at the security man that, हमारे सबके नसीब में जलेबी होती है, वो कितनी होती है वो ऊपर से डिसाइड करके आती है, तो तेरे नसीब में उतनी ही थी, अब आगे मत जाना. And then again, I jumped into, how could my parents have let me be so alone for so many years? And then I was just amazed at the sort of jumps my mind is making to make me unhappy, basically. I could always think something else. I could think of beauty in procreation, or, how birds come together. And um, I was just amazed how our mind can sell ourselves such funny things. And it's in the past I would probably think of it as not being able to let go of my past, but now I feel it's just my sort of, what do I say, reflex ways of thinking, which I can recognize now. So eventually at some point I might be able to let them go. Does that make sense? But I know that when
Yeah,
I'm physically ill, that happens a lot. It's like a downward spiral.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. And the only difference is that you have become aware of it. Most people are not aware of it. So that in itself is very profound, right? That you're able to observe and catch yourself doing all of these things. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Ashwini.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now moving forward, um, as today's topic is that why I cannot let go of the past. Mhm. So, what could be the possible reasons, guys, that you think that you have not been able to let go of the past? Why do we hold on to it? What is the benefit behind holding on to the past? Anything, all of the examples that we talked about till now. So let's dig deeper and see why we do that.
Mm, I think, Anamika, a few days back, I read this quote that we don't miss that person, that exactly what we miss is how we felt uh, during the happy moments. So I think we just try to hold on to those moments and the feelings that we felt during that time.
Hmm. Hmm. Right. We try to hold on to the identity, attachment to the identity of that moment. Hmm. Right. And it's not just about the happy moments. The funny part is that a lot of times we see the kind of childhood traumas, mother wounds, father wounds, inner child wounds that we talk about, and we even become aware of those wounds, that I have those wounds, whatever kinds we talk about. And yet we continue to hold on to those things, or maybe even the negative incidents, memories that happened to us as a child. Maybe somebody has gone through a lot of bullying, or maybe shaming as a child, or maybe guilt tripping as a child. Right. And as adults, also, we continue to hold on to those things because somehow we have attached it to our identity. Because in case we don't do that and we hold on to something else, we don't know, first of all, what to hold on to. It's an unknown area, and we don't like to go into the unknown. So we tend to, hold on to the known things, to the black and white things, that okay, जैसा भी है, जो भी है, ये ठीक है, बट मुझे पता तो है मैं कौन हूँ, राइट? मुझे पता तो है मैं क्या हूँ, राइट? जैसा भी है, even if it is impacting me negatively, even if everything is going wrong in my life, at least I know, what I'm holding on to and what I am. So, you know, a lot of times it is very self-righteous, right? That you get to be right, you get to be in control, you get to know what you're doing, even if it is impacting your life negatively or whatever, in whatever ways, but then at the cost of your happiness, right? So you get to be right, but you don't get to be happy. The only difference is that. So yeah, holding on to the identity. What else could be a reason?
The emotional attachment we had with that person.
Hmm. Yeah. And when you hold on to that emotional attachment, what is the benefit of holding on to it?
There is no benefit actually. It's painful. Like it might be like it. There might be good memories also, but holding on is not good for ourselves. Is what I feel. We can't move forward.
हाँ, हाँ, वो तो आप सही बोल रहे हो, बट ये तो एक कॉन्शियस आंसर है ना, कि ये
हाँ,
आपको पता है। बट अगर ये आपके बीइंग तक उतरा होता, अगर ये आपके कोर तक उतरा होता, तो आप इस चीज को करना कब का छोड़ चुके होते,
correct.
राइट? बट आप करना अगर नहीं छोड़ पाए हो, दैट मीन्स देयर इज सर्टेनली सम बेनिफिट टू होल्डिंग ऑन टू दैट इमोशनल अटैचमेंट। तो क्या बेनिफिट हो सकता है, क्यों करते हैं हम ये?
लाइक अगर उस पर्सन के साथ अच्छी मेमोरीज थी तो मतलब शायद वो याद करके उतना दुख नहीं होता है बट आई डोंट नो द आंसर बट या
Yes, Harpreet. You want to say anything?
Uh, yeah, I can think of few people who hold on to certain things because they didn't get the closure or the answers they were looking for. For example, if someone is gone from their life and they never got the answer, why did they go, or why did they leave me, or why someone betrayed me? So they keep on finding answers which are not in their control, but the other person never gave the explanation, and they keep on holding on to it for a very long time.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, that is one very good example. A lot of people do that. They keep holding on to it because if they leave it, if they drop the ball saying that, okay, I don't want to find the answer, that would mean that they will have to acknowledge their own harsh feelings that कुछ भी हो सकता है उनको abandonment फील हो सकता है उनको रिजेक्शन फील हो सकता है उनको लेफ्ट अलोन फील हो सकता है उनको neglected फील हो any kind of pain that they might encounter just because of acknowledging that fact that the person left without the reason. So वो acknowledge करना मुश्किल है. To face the painful emotions is it's of course uncomfortable. So the better idea is to keep looking for reasons, because then accepting it would mean that they would have to go through the grief of it, and rather than grieving about it, it's always easier and better to say that kuch hoga reason, mujhe pata lagana hai.
Hmm.
अनामिका, मुझे ये भी लगता है कि अगर मैं लाइक हाउ हरदीप हैज मेंशन कि क्लोजर नहीं मिला, ठीक है, वो क्लोजर नहीं मिला, और मुझे लगता है कि अगर वो पर्सन सामने से रेडी होता और मैं चीज़ें शायद एक्सप्लेन मतलब मैं चीज़ें एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर पाई, शायद मैं उस पर्सन को अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन करती जो वो मिसअंडरस्टैंड कर लिया है, तो मैं ना उस चीज़ को बचा पाती। तो शायद मुझे ये चीज़ लगती है कि मैं और ट्राई
Hmm.
करती तो
Hmm.
हो
Hmm.
जाता। हाँ।
Hmm. So this is kind of so basically this is one of the stages of the grieving process, which is the bargaining stage. Right. So a lot of times when our loved ones dies, and it's very hard for us to accept that fact कि they are gone. So we try to make those bargaining offers to God. I don't know if any of you have seen this in real life, but this happens a lot of times where we see कि अगर शायद ना मैंने ऐसा किया होता ना तो वो अभी जिंदा होते, अगर मैंने बस 10 मिनट पहले हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट कर देते ना तो वो जिंदा हो जाते, मैंने ये कर दे भगवान मैं ये कर दूंगा, मैं ये बदल दूंगा, मैं ये अपने अंदर चेंज ले आऊंगा, मैं वो चेंज ले आऊंगा तो ये मरा हुआ इंसान जिंदा हो जाएगा अभी. Right, so we tend to bargain through the situation, right? But the whole point is with you particularly, Sonam, that you were trying way too much first of all. और उस way too much में आप कितना भी way too much डालो
हम्म।
क्या फर्क पड़ता है,
ओके।
क्या फर्क
या।
पड़ेगा,
हम्म।
मतलब you were already trying way too much.
या।
If somebody has already decided that they are not they're not going to trust you, then it's not about you anymore. They
ओके।
don't know how to trust, right? फिर आप मतलब पत्थर के सामने आप 1,000 1 करोड़ साल तक भी जाके पत्थर के सामने अगर आप ये बोलते रहोगे कि तुम पत्थर नहीं, तुम पानी बन जाओ, तुम हवा बन जाओ, तो वो नहीं बनेगा, राइट?
हाँ हाँ।
हाँ, तो आप
एक्चुअली
तो इतना कुछ कर ही
हाँ,
रहे थे.
वही वो ये चीज़ है मुझे थोड़ी सी कि मैं ना जल मतलब इन रोमांटिक रिलेशनशिप आई डोंट गिव अप इजीली, आई ट्राई अ लॉट। तो या।
No, trying a lot is okay. So, for an
हम्म।
example, let's suppose you go to the
हम्म।
market and you buy
हम्म।
some mango seeds, and
हम्म।
you give like you buy really good fertilizer, really good soil. आप उसके लिए बिल्कुल perfect वाली place ढूंढ के उसको लगाते हो. आप
हम्म।
हमेशा हर दिन उसमें regularly पानी डालते हो,
हम्म।
उसमें उसको proper sunlight, हवा, जो भी चीजें requirement है, you give it to that. So वो एक दिन plant बनेगा, एक दिन tree बनेगा, right? And then one day it will give you a mango, right? And you can say that I'm trying very hard, right?
या।
And I'm
या।
giving my best. I don't give up, right? You don't give up on nurturing
हम्म।
your plant.
हम्म।
But
हम्म।
then, it's like you have bought lemon seeds or maybe Karela seeds from the market,
हम्म।
and you're trying
हम्म।
very hard, and you every
हम्म।
day try very hard. And for
हम्म।
100 years you try very hard and then you keep saying, and don't give up on this Karela plant, but why is it not giving me mangoes? Cannot give you mangoes. It is bitter gourd. It cannot give you mangoes.
Oh,
So there is a difference between hope and delusion, right? When you work on a mango plant, it is hope that one day it can give you mango because it is capable of giving you mango. But then when you
mm-hmm.
do the same thing with bitter gourd, it cannot give you mangoes because it is not capable. It is not about whether you give up or not.
Okay.
It is not about you at all,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's just that कि करेले के पास उतनी क्वालिटीज नहीं है कि वो मैंगो प्रोड्यूस कर सके. Hmm. Yeah. So now uh, you need to think about and dig deeper into this, that why are you still holding on to this emotional attachment? क्या benefit है इस चीज का? क्या हो सकता है? क्या रीजन हो सकता है? क्या मिलता है आपको?
शायद कुछ टाइम के लिए ऐसा लगता है लाइक शायद गुड मेमोरीज ही थी, तो उस मेमोरीज के साथ अच्छा लगता है शायद।
स्पेशल फील होता है.
हाँ,
हम्म,
अलोन फील नहीं होता है।
हम्म, हम्म. Right, right. So to make yourself feel special, to make yourself feel that I was also wanted by somebody, I was also desired by somebody, I was also, seen by somebody. हम बार बार उस चीज को होल्ड ऑन करते हैं, राइट? टू गो बैक इन दैट फैंटेसी लैंड कि हाँ ये भी हुआ था, जस्ट फॉर दैट टेम्पररी रिलीफ.
या
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Good. Thank you for sharing that, Sonam. और
Anamika,
क्या
I
रीजन?
just have I just have one doubt. Like, for example, we have some gifts, we have photos together and all. So, like, should we just discard them or we can keep them? I really don't understand because maybe because of seeing these things, I go back to that space again and again.
Hmm. Hmm. See, the thing is that you can discard them. That's
Hmm.
not an issue. Or you can also choose not to discard them.
Hmm.
Either way, it's not about the things per se. If they help you to move on or to, it can be like a ritual, right? So I have
Okay.
done that
Yeah. Yeah.
ritual once upon a time. I was moving on from a relationship and I had a lot of pictures and all that.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
decided that I don't want to see these pictures anymore, right? And I just deleted all of them, right? But the
Hmm.
whole point is कि अगर आप उस space में नहीं हो where you are ready to flush those things out, तो आप physically अगर flush कर भी दोगे तो अंदर से चीजें flush नहीं होंगी ना. So the point is कि अंदर का flush important है.
Okay.
अंदर का वो flush करना important है. उसके साथ बाहर का भी करना है तो कर सकते हो. नहीं
Hmm.
करना है तो भी ठीक है. बाकी it's a
Okay.
good exercise to do that, because a lot of times हमें क्या होता है कि for an example I tell you कि सोनम, go in front of the mirror and tell yourself that you love yourself, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
आप उठ के नहीं जाते हो, आप बस
Hmm.
अपने माइंड में एक पिक्चर क्रिएट करते हो that I'm going in front of the mirror and I'm telling myself I love you, and you come and tell me कि अनामिका हो गया,
Hmm.
राइट? बट एक्चुअली इफ यू सी कि अगर आप फिजिकली मिरर के सामने जाते और वो चीज बोलते, दैट वुड हैव अ entirely different impact on you than just imagining it in your head, right? So that's why we, in fact, जब हम retreat करते हैं, I guess,
Hmm.
कविता and
Hmm.
Ashwini have been to the retreat, तो उसमें हम ऐसे ऑप्शन रखते हैं कि we do one exercise where we write everything, whatever we are holding on to, in a lot of detail. फिर हम ये बोलते हैं कि अगर किसी को भी ये जाके बर्न करना है ना, यू गो एंड बर्न इट, राइट? और यू जस्ट थ्रो tear it into pieces and throw it away with the intention as if now it's gone from your life, right? It's your deliberate conscious intention that it's gone from your life. So you just let it go. बस इसमें ये make sure करना है that your inside flush is also happening. It's not just a, mechanical exercise.
Okay, got it, Anamika. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonam. Anybody else? So one reason that a few reasons that we have explored till now, that why we hold on to these things is that we are afraid of the unknown. And rather than going to an unknown territory, it's easier for us to hold on to the familiar patterns, familiar things, because they make us feel safe. And even if they disrupt our lives, make us feel miserable, we still, want to be right rather than want to be happy. We want to be more right because that makes us feel in control. So we want to be in control, even if that control means living in fear and being in pain, right? So choosing happiness actually is a more courageous thing per se. Okay. Then the second thing, like Sonam was talking about, a lot of times our pain, our emotional attachments, past memories make us feel special, make us feel that we were loved, wanted, desired some point of time. So we continue to go in that world, our own fantasy land where, you know, things worked out once upon a time, so that we don't have to see and acknowledge in the present that it actually has not, even though we know that it's gone. So that's another thing. And yeah, yeah. There's one more very important point that's there in my mind, but I would like to know from you guys first कि और क्या reasons हो सकते हैं क्यों हम hold on करते हैं.
Either I would like to share one more thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
Sonam told that she didn't got the closure and that's why she think. But sometimes when we make a decision to end up a relationship, but still we hold on upon those memories, like whether they are the good one or the bad one. So why does that happen?
No, I didn't get your question, Kavita. Can you please repeat?
Uh, I was saying, in a relationship, like if it is ended by the other party, so we just think we could have done this, we could have done that to save this relationship or something. But if we are the decision maker, we just call off the relationship that no, this is not working for us, and let's be apart. And then still we hold on upon those memories, that person, that feelings. So, what could be that reason? How to let it go?
Hmm. How to let it go के लिए तो पहले figure out करना पड़ेगा ना कि why we are holding on to it.
Yeah.
So majorly, one very common reason why people hold on to these things, even if they are somebody who have broken off, um, is addiction to drama.
Yes.
क्योंकि एक addiction to drama हो सकता है, दूसरी चीज ये हो सकती है that they want laddu in both hands. So they are very inconsiderate to see that the other person also has free will, whether they wish to continue the relationship or not, right? So a lot of people start demanding कि we cannot be in a romantic relationship, but हम friends तो रह सकते हैं ना, ये तो रह सकते हैं ना, इतना तो कर सकते हैं ना. But
Mhm.
but then they do not consider that they have broken off with the other person and they are hurt, and they are not in a position to continue with you as friends. But we
Mhm.
continue to keep pushing other people कि हमारी कितनी अच्छी चीज थी, ये चीज थी, वो चीज थी, because we ourselves are not capable enough to handle the pain. हमें दोनों हाथ में लड्डू चाहिए. हमें ये भी चाहिए, हमें इसके perks and benefits छोड़ने भी नहीं है, लेकिन इस रिलेशनशिप के डिसएडवांटेजेस नहीं चाहिए, बैड पार्ट नहीं चाहिए, सो वी वांट टू मेक दैट वर्क आउट विद somebody else or maybe by being alone. बट देन हमें इस
Mm.
रिलेशनशिप के भी पर्क्स एंड एडवांटेजेस नहीं छोड़ने। तो हमें दोनों हाथ में भी लड्डू चाहिए और मुंह में भी लड्डू चाहिए, सब जगह लड्डू चाहिए, सब कुछ मेरे हिसाब से होना चाहिए, right? So that's such lack of empathy and inconsideration where people just cannot think from the other person's shoe, right? They just want everything according to themselves, and or they could be addicted to drama कि उनको ये लगता है कि अब ये पर्सन चला जाए, so there has to be drama, right? They have to create the drama. So maybe the relationship was working properly and nicely in the first place, but उसमें अगर drama नहीं था, so they have to create the drama to
Okay.
engage themselves, entertain themselves. कुछ तो होना चाहिए ना लाइफ में। अभी हेल्दी तरीके तो पता नहीं है एंटरटेनमेंट के, तो अभी
Hmm.
क्या करें एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए, राइट? सो ये हो सकता है। और एक चीज ये भी हो सकती है कि दे डोंट नो, जस्ट लाइक आई वाज सेइंग, हाउ टू हैंडल देयर इमोशनल issues, right? How to handle, how to let something go in a healthy way, right? Let people go in a healthy way, right? Because a lot of times, even if people are into really really toxic relationships, और ये still उनको वो ना हैंग ऑन करना होता है, क्योंकि उनको ये लगता है कि ये छूट गया तो पता नहीं फिर मुझे, मेरे पास कुछ होगा या नहीं होगा, राइट? मैं अकेली तो नहीं पड़ जाऊंगी, तो कुछ तो बचा लूं इससे, लेट मी सेव सम ब्रेड क्रम्स फ्रॉम इट और समथिंग, right? So any kind of emotional trauma that they are trying to avoid because of letting this thing go. So yeah, these could be some of the possible scenarios.
Okay.
Okay, Ashwini, your hand was up, you were saying anything?
I was wondering whether I should say something. I was just going to say that sometimes because we simply cannot let it go, In the sense, in my case, my kids are a relic of my past, but I cannot let them go from my life, right? At one point in time, I did feel like, I didn't want to have that much interaction with them because it reminded me of the past relationship and their constant mention of their father and in glowing terms, especially, was very irritating.
Hmm.
But so I moved from my hometown or I reduced contact with them. But ultimately, I realized that I have to find another way of, dealing with this. I cannot let go of this part of my past. Um, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
हाँ, हाँ, but that has actually nothing to do with letting go, right? क्योंकि we don't let go of memories or any of the things that we have talked about. There's literally no way for us to like erase them or forget about them or anything. The only thing that we let go of is the emotional charge and or the attachment, unhealthy attachment to that thing. So to give another example of this thing, for an example, my mom, and uh, l- and she has her own, you know, some unhealthy ways because of whatever generation she comes from, or and all that. Now, like in your case, you cannot let go physically of your kids. I cannot let go of my mom, of course. But the thing is that we need to figure out that why are we still getting impacted by it, right? Why it is still hurting us, whatever things that they are saying. So that is upon us, right? So, and yeah, there is a chance that they would mention something and you may get sad or hurt or whatever, like my mom does. But then, uh, if these people are important, and if you know that it's something that's not of much importance to you, even if you're not getting triggered and all that, you can have a healthy conversation with people and set boundaries with them that if you are with me, I would really appreciate that you don't talk about these things because this is how I feel about it, right? And this is what I expect from our engagement. So it's totally, it comes back on us that how do we, deal with those things. So for an example, I set very strong boundaries with my mom, and every time she starts her fear talk or sadness talk, and she starts getting in the loop of blaming everything in life, and I'm like, Mom, I understand what you have gone through. I understand that you could be fearful, you could be sad or whatever. I don't want this, right? I if you want just to vent out and I'll listen like a robot sitting here, but this is not something that I am going to um, engage into. This is not something I'm going to entertain. So it's a no. It's just a big no from my side, right? And that's how we can, take it forward. So of course, a lot of times we cannot let go of our parents, our kids, our spouses, or friends. It's just that they're there, but then it's about, first of all, letting go of the attachment to that thing which is causing the hurt, and then, setting the boundary. Yeah. Does that make any sense, Ashwini?
Yeah, setting the boundaries does. Letting go of the attachment was the new concept, and I will process that. Yeah, I mean, that was a blind spot, and it does make a lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashwini. Hmm. Okay, one more thing that was coming to my mind, that why we tend to hold on to these things, because it allows us to be in the state of anger, rage, hmm, resentment. So we want the bad karmas to happen to people who have done bad to us, right? We want them to pay the price. We want them to go through something really, really bad in life, right? कि उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया ना, तो उसके साथ ऐसा होना चाहिए, राइट? उसके साथ ऐसा होगा ना, तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, तब उसको पता चलेगा कि मुझे क्या फील हुआ and all that, right? And we feel somehow subconsciously that in case we let go of this anger, this hurt, this rage inside us, we will not be able to punish them. We will not be able to take the revenge, right? So even though consciously a lot of times we know that we are not going to do it, we are not going to take any revenge, right? But then फिर तो बिल्कुल बाजी हार जाएंगे ना हम, अगर हमने ड्रॉप कर दिया ये चीज, right? And वो हमें नहीं करना है. So even though we are not going to take revenge, God is going to take revenge from our side. So we need to hold on to this anger, this rage inside us, right? So that something bad happens to them. That's another thing. Yeah. So that was those points were there in my head, guys. Anything else you wish to add? कुछ और लग रहा है? Anything that's hitting your head? Cool. ठीक है. So और मेरे साइड से तो कुछ भी नहीं है, guys, that I can remember sharing with you all. ठीक है, cool. अगर कुछ नहीं है तो we will wrap. Thank you so much everyone for joining today's session. We will see you guys in the next session. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you, guys.
everyone.
Bye bye.